In this week's Parsha, Lech Lecha, God tells Abraham and Sarah, Lech Lecha me'artzecha mimoladetcha u'mibeit avicha. Get up and go. Leave everything that is comfortable behind. Fill your lives with meaning by starting the Jewish people. From the very beginning, God has been clear. It takes courage to be a Jew. It's not about being comfortable. It took courage 5,000 years ago, and it's going to take courage today. So lech lecha, go forward, which is another way of saying, show up. That's how we do it at Temple Israel of Hollywood. We show up. When tragedy strikes, we cry our eyes out. When people we love scream in agony, we scream right there with them. When evil comes to our door, we call it what it is, pure, unadulterated evil. And as soon as we're done reeling from that shock, we get our bearings and we show up. We show up tonight for Israel because as a people, our hearts have not been shattered like this for generations. We show up for the Israelis in our community because as painful as this is for American Jewry, this is exponentially more painful for those who have lived and grown up in Israel. They're hurting in a different way. It's more personal. It's their home. Their roots are Zionism. Their immediate family are actively living in stress and fear of terrorism. We show up for one another because we can't even keep up with how we feel. Outraged and scared and worried, sick, and just so sad. We show up because we need one another, and we're going to need one another for a long time going forward. We're going to need each other to work out what we're going to say to our kids who feel so lonely on their campuses, and to our kids who might not feel exactly the way we do, and to the people in this room with whom we share so much, but they also might not feel exactly the way we do. We show up because we've got to work it out and figure out how to talk to one another. And we show up because I have been in more security meetings in the last 2 weeks than the previous 20 years of my rabbinate. We show up because if there are two defining features of Temple Israel of Hollywood, they are our connection to Israel and our commitment to social justice. We show up because of we are deeply inspired by the collectivist ideals at the root of Israeli society, because every single one of those hostages that we just saw is family, and our family is not whole until they're home. Thank you. You might find this hard to believe, but I have a lot to say about Israel and Hamas and Palestinians and war and peace and grief and resilience and indignation and so much more. But tonight is not the night for me to speak. Tonight, I'm going to listen to you and to you. And I am going to ask for one thing from all of you. Keep showing up. Because the Hamas attack on Israel was an assault on Jewish peoplehood, Jewish identity, and Jewish continuity, and our response to that is going to be to keep showing up. Show up tonight with your dollars to support the critical work of HIAS for all those in Israel who are displaced. Show up in the coming weeks to learn more about Israel and to talk about Israel and to go to Israel, maybe in months, and to take action on Israel. Show up when your heads of school ask you to come to campus to celebrate Shabbat, holidays, and other programs. Show up this coming Sunday when we sing with Joey Weisenberg, when we're going to sing our hearts out in pain and joy and healing and hope. Show up courageously. Plug into the Jewish tradition, which is based on thousands of years of people just like you and me struggling to figure out how to be human in a world that is anything but. In frightening times, we have an impulse to hide, to not call attention to ourselves, to blend in, and I get that. But being a Jew, by definition, lech lecha, means showing up. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to keep showing up until our souls are soothed and our world is healed. That's how we do it.